Paying their rent. Hannah McDonald went to today's intake event for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, which drew a huge crowd. Hundreds here at the Robert Howard Community Center hope their applications get approved to help with their rent, utility, and other housing-related needs. Due to the large number of applicants, the city has had to limit the intake locations and is no longer taking walk-ins at the main office or online. One person I spoke with waited in line for almost 4 hours, but says she appreciates what the city is doing.
It's good that they helping people with their bills and rent and stuff, and then the kids started back to school, and and it's good for the kids because they need their TV on, they need the lights on. They got to have their food, keep food in the refrigerator.
Another person I spoke with had also been waiting in line for hours, but she was not as satisfied with the program.
We all need help. And the stipulations, it's like it's changing constantly. 1 minute you need all the Social Security cards, then you need your lease, then you need so many check stubs. It's like it's changing them, and then they not helping. They act like they don't want to help people who just need help with their light bill.
Alex.
All right, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, HaKadosh. I also want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. And as always, peace and salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect. Back at it through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Yeah, just came across signs of the times, man. Babylon is falling. All right, this is from Augusta. But this is happening all throughout the so-called United States, man, and other parts of the world. People are in dire need, man. And as I'm looking at this through my spiritual lenses, man, you can see the population which is going to be in the most jeopardy during Jacob's trouble, man. A women, old folks, and children. And you see a lot of, women and old folks always in some type of need more than the average individual that got some youth, man. They're in constant need of medical attention and all type of different forms of aiding, man. So I said all that to say, through the spirit, you can kind of see, all right, these people taking the mark of the beast, man. All right, they don't have no real honest spirituality about themselves, man. What the scriptures say, are the Lord's people have a zeal, but it isn't according to knowledge. They may have a belief in the God of the Bible, okay, but it isn't according to the spirit of truth. It isn't according to the spirit of Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of truth, man. Coming under the name Yahweh Shai, starting there, not calling upon those idols. Most of our people, come on, man, they're still in whatever type of idolatry they're in, okay? So they don't really have a leg to stand on. They don't have that rock, that foundation, which again is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. They don't have that foundation, man. So their houses are gonna fall because theirs are built, on sand and etc. All right, water, sand, anything that's malleable. All right. But again, we through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai built our faith, under Yahweh Shai, man. All right, and Lord willing, that faith in faith without works is dead. That faith in those works that accomplish, accomplish what is that word? Accompany. Salakia. It accompanies faith in the works, man. Lord willing, man, Yahweh Shema Shai will protect us, man, for the times to come, man, because these people, these situations that the Lord himself is going to call us to befall upon the earth of famine, right? Food insecurities, period, let alone a famine, wars, man, pestilences, man, earthquakes and different storms and different places. All these are ways to get an individual uncomfortable out his dwelling place, out his house, man. All right, and we're gonna need Yahweh Hashem Shah to be with us in the times to come, man. But again, if you're not serving the Lord, you don't have no skill set, if you will. You're going to take that mark of the beast, and we are commanded, for the ones that believe in the Bible. All right, the God of the Bible, the God of the Hebrew Israelites. Let y'all tell it. Y'all believe. We're commanded not to take that mark of the beast, man. Hey, that mark of the beast. This is one of the final prophecies of the Bible, man. We're at the end of the book, the end of a story, Lord willing, and getting ready to see the beginning of a new. All right, but we're commanded not to take that mark of the beast, man. And if you're not coming in the spirit of preparation, you're going to be just like these people lined up, man. And you can see it's a lot of our people out there, Jacob's trouble. But don't get it twisted, man. This whole place, Babylon the Great, so-called USA, is going to be troubled, man, more than any place, man. All right, this land of great confusion, this great horror that the scriptures speak about, man. But you see, it's a lot of our people
Community
out there.
Center hope their applications.
A lot of our people, man, and it's, man, I'm just looking at that line. It's their dire need, man. What's with all the pretending? What's with all the faking, man? Acting like, we rich and balling, man. And that's what them people on the internet do. All those social media people and just the entertainment. They keep on giving us these images of perfection and beauty, stunting, getting to the bag, getting, nice homes, luxury homes, mansions, luxury apartments, all day, every day, literally. The NBA players, NFL players, man, and especially them social media people, man, all day, every day, just feeding that, when the majority of our people in real life and reality are shit a paycheck away from being in the streets, a paycheck away from not having a vehicle, not having a home, not having decent food. How much more when we're really in Jacob's trouble, this time of trouble that we're prophesying through the Spirit, telling our people, hey, repent, come back to the Lord, call upon the name Yahweh, who the world ignorantly just calls God, all right, and Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man. All right, these are the true Hebrew names of these powers, man. It starts there: belief, faith, obedience, man. Keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability, putting forth that decent effort, man. All right, if you don't, you're gonna look crazy out here, man. It's better to look crazy now and be in this realm of the prophets, the teachers, and the ones that listen, man. It's better, to do it now, and rather than the Lord, bring that shame and humility upon you during this time of Jacob's trouble. Hey, we speak about the women, all right? You guys are going to be a huge part of that humbling phase here pretty soon, man. You've been puffed up here in Babylon the Great more than anybody, and the Lord is getting ready to humble you, women. You're going to be in these lines, and that ultimate line, man, you can see it, man. When they get in these lines for this assistant or a storm comes and they have to, see FEMA and get those cases of water and things, you could just see how fragile society is, man. If you really have your spiritual, glasses on, you can see through the spirit of discernment how prepared society is to be in need and want of all things, to be in need of provisions. Our provisions, we know where to, where our source comes from, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. So we have faith in those names and in our attempts at righteousness, and that the Lord will be with us. But if you don't have the Lord, man, you're definitely going to go to the enemy and want of all things, man. The scriptures speak about that. That was going to be a part of our curses, man, that we would go down, to our enemy for need and want of all things: food, clothing, shelter, all right, opportunities, etc. We have to go to these people, even if you are a so-called entrepreneur. If you just go up the chain, I guarantee you, whether it's taxes or etc., that your money, all right, is somehow, some way, it's gonna go to Esau Edom, man. Even if you again are a so-called entrepreneur getting your own quote unquote money, you still got property taxes, all type of money that's going to Esau Edom, the so-called white man. So we are in our captivity to this very day, and this is what we're through the spirit trying to teach our people. But a lot of them ignorant, they don't want to listen. The old folks, there's a lot of them out there, they don't want to listen. They're always complaining. They do, but they don't. If they're not serving the Lord, they really don't have a reason to complain. Now, we're complaining through righteousness. We're complaining through understanding. Hey, we're in our captivity, but we understand that this man is wicked. 2/3 of our nation, just like that old lady that was sitting there with them bags, them black eye, them raccoon eyes. And I ain't trying to talk about the sister or nothing, but, just like her, as she's complaining about how janky the system is. Well, she does have a point. The system, which is Babylon the Great, is janky. These people do be lying. They do do things with malicious intent, man. All right, but the issue we have with her, for face value, she looks like an Israelite sister, okay, is that you're not serving Yahweh Shema Shah. You're not keeping the law, statutes, commandments. So of course we expect you to be in these dire straits without the Lord. All right, you got to understand that we're subject to things like this happening to us because we're in captivity, to this very day, But you can't tell our people nothing, man, until it hits the fan. And then guess what? Jake is going to be looking for a solution to get out of those dire straits. And guess what Jacob is going to do, man? He's going to take that mark of the beast, man. It'll be plenty of women via weakness that line up, to take that mark of the beast in the name of providing for her little greedy self, all right, and her children, man. All right. And then, weak men, that love this feminine ass society. Why would, as a man, you wouldn't even want this society to continue? Why would you want to be a part of a society as a real man that looks down upon you for being a real man? All right. And that praises everything else that's weird, man. If you're any type of weirdo, any type of vile affections upon you, they praise that. But anything that's natural, they're against it. Why would you want the society to continue? Let it burn, we say, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, because we understand something better is going to come. So we don't mind this place burning up. They can have it. We just got to endure to the end. But we'll start at the book of Isaiah 31 and verse 1. Woe, which means destruction, to them that go down to Egypt for help. And Egypt is, synonymous with bondage. So we are in Egypt, all right, bondage, captivity to this very day here in Babylon the Great, known as the United States, man. So it says, woe to them that go down to the United States, the government, etc., and stay on horses and trust in chariots. Why? Because there are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. And that's the spirit that our people come in that seek help, and for these people, and not the Lord. All right, it's because they see the strength, the military might, the financial power, the stimulus checks. All right, the people, hey man, that's just a psyop. The stimulus checks and any type of other government assistance, man, they're showing you, and they'll cause a lot of these problems. And then guess what, they'll just pop out of nowhere. And I remember when the first stimulus checks came out during that pandemic, right before that was happening, man. People were in dire straits again, man. It was I don't know, it was an issue with I don't know if they were slow on the tax returns or something like that. It was something going on with people's money, and then they just came out of nowhere, bro, and just gave people a couple $1,000s, man. It shows you that they have the money to fix all of these financial issues at least, but they don't do it because they got malicious intents, at heart, man. All right, but again, a lot of our people want to trust in these people because they see the strength, and most of it is because of the money. All right, oh, y'all got they're handing out money, they're handing out water, whatever, provisions. All right, most of our people don't have faith in the Lord, so they're gonna go down to these people for help, clothing, food, shelter, of course. And guess what, man? The Lord has a plethora of ways that he's going to make you have to either trust in him or trust in the enemy, okay, via a pestilence, via tornadoes and earthquakes in diverse places, via the Lord putting the spirit upon these men to have, ill will in their hearts, changing laws, changing times. The Lord speaks about, this man doing these things in the last days, and we're witnessing it. All right. But because they are many and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but guess what? But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, neither seek the Lord. So, whoa, destruction into you niggas, man, so-called, man. All right, destruction to you people. And that's the worst thing for man. Like, one of the biggest fear is to be in one of them lines, man, looking like a little biatch. You know what I mean? Straight up, we don't want to be a part of that, man. Now if that's what we got to do, if that's the way the Lord set it up for us to be in one of these lines. But for the most part, I don't want to be in any of these lines with you people, man. You 2/3, the majority of you people. What the scriptures say, follow not a multitude to do evil. I'm not saying getting something to eat is evil, but it is in vain if you're not serving Yahweh Shem Shai during this great tribulation, man. All right. And I don't want to be in any one of those lines getting any provisions from this man. We gotta trust in the Lord, man. The Lord speaks about us being pilgrims upon the earth, man, in these times to come, man. So we might be location to location, man. My brothers might be in camps, might be escaping those camps. Who knows, man? All right. But the whole point is we understand that it's part of the process, and we're going to keep our faith towards Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah and not take that mark of the beast, because I guess, it's going to be tempting. But this is why the process is so intense that we're going through now. This is why brothers are exhausted, via the training regiment that the Lord has us upon, fasting, often, I can go through the spirit. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. I know what it's like to be hungry. I know what my body can. Well, I'm not saying I've been brought to 40 days fasting type ish. All right. But definitely the Lord is definitely, training me up for whatever the reason is. If I have to go, days, or just show forth that type of faith for me and my, or my household, the people who are going to take hold of me in that day, who knows, but it's all for preparation. These people don't know what it's like to be hungry. These people don't know what it's like to fast, not just the physicality of it, but also the miracles that come from fasting. It's something a lot of people don't experience. You don't know what it's like to fast for, a day, 2 days, 3 days, praying in the name Yahweh Yahweh Shah, and seeing the blessings that also come in the midst of it and after it, man. All right, people don't know nothing about that. They don't know about taking the low. They don't know about sacrifice. They don't know about looking ugly. You know what I mean? Not looking their best all the time for Yahweh Shema Shah's sake. You know what I mean? Taking the low, being in sackcloth, man. Not, you know what I mean? You know how we do. No edge ups, things like that, man. People don't know nothing about taking the low. You gotta look perfect all the time. Look at me, look at me. Now we try to be clean and look presentable, all right? But as far as just stunting on fools and all that, come on, man. We don't have time for that, man. This is a very, very serious time, man. And you have to stay focused, because it is a shit storm coming. Oh my goodness, like I was just looking at those people in the line, then looking at everything else that's happening upon the earth, the wars, the rumors of wars, seeing this man go crazy with his pen, making all these laws and stuff. They're talking about putting the national guard, throughout DC. What's really going on? And then you still got the ICE agents, man. You still got issues with the border, all right? Like all type of stuff. It is just every day. Oh man, mass shooting here, mass shooting there, mass shooting here, mass shooting there. All right, every freaking day. Food recall. Just woke up, this morning. Oh man, they were calling fruit, they were calling ice cream, listeria, all salmonella, E. coli. Every freaking day there's food recalls, man. So when we talk about that famine, that food insecurity, man, there's so many ways that the Lord can do that. And then if we're watching like we're so commanded to do, man, they're talking about they got crazy insects getting ready to invade certain places here in Babylon the Great, man. They talking spiders, locusts, all type of stuff, man. It's a shit show, man. All right, and Babylon the Great is very fragile right now, man. All right, because they have been playing this entire time. They have been chasing, loving money. All right, this entire time. So we're finna see the fruits of that labor. You've labored Esau, Edom, in vanity and wickedness, and we're finna see what it produced. A whole damn decayed society to the point everybody's taking swords upon each other and finna like it be finna be like the Purge or the Walking Dead. I haven't seen the Walking Dead and all that stuff, man. But you know, I'm familiar. It's gonna be like zombie land out here, man. All right, and this is what we're warning our people through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Hawashai from. All right, then we go to the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. All right. Babylon, and remember this is Babylon the Great, hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. And how did this place make all the earth drunken? The philosophies, the spirit of greed. All right. You see a people behaving like the Americans, man. All right. When it comes to wickedness in the depths of that. All right. This is that place that has done that. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. And that's why you hear the wars and the rumors of wars when, you know, these other nations seem to be very pissed, you know, with the Americans, so-called, man. All right. Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, be she may be healed. Guess what? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. And we're doing that through the spirit. Hey, back to Israel, man, through the spirit first and foremost. And then you'll see the physical manifestation of that, man. All right, but we're forsaking Babylon the Great through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Mahawashah. And it says, for her judgment reaches unto the heaven and is lifted up to the skies. And we're getting ready to see the judgment that is, you know, Babylon the Great. And it's going to end with those nuclear missiles and Yahweh Shai making his second return, man. All right, but this is what we're warning our people from. This place is suddenly falling, man. All right, it's destroyed. There's no more work here pretty soon, man. They're talking about, you know, how many so-called black women have been fired from the workforce here pretty soon. I don't know if it was hundreds of thousands, but it was a lot. And my rib, I guess, if you know, we working on it through the spirit of mercy, you know, patience. But, you know, she's a part of that. She lost her job just out of nowhere. They came up and they're, you know, dropping them, you know. So it definitely hit home. And I definitely know it's real, man. And she hasn't gotten a new job yet, man. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shai, man. This is what, I mean, eventually, you know, we're all going to be out of provisions, man. However, the Lord, you know, from Esau, Edom at least. So, I mean, it's just a part of the process. All right, well, we have to trust in the Lord, though, unlike the rest of these idiots out here, because they're going to trust in the enemy, man, and they're going to take that mark of the beast, man. All right. In the book of Isaiah 32 and verse 10, and it reads, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, all right? For the venture shall fail, the gathering shall not come. So all this play stuff, the club, the grocery store, all right? Just chilling out on the weekend with your homegirl and your family, it's not going to come, man. Verse 11, tremble, ye women that are at ease. And that goes for anybody that's at ease, man. Right now at the end of the world, preceding the Lord's second coming, man. Hey, this is a very serious time. This isn't about us, even though we're in the story, we're part of the story, you know, Lord willing, some of us more than others. This is really about Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai, man, and their will, man. So hey, shit, what we got going on really doesn't matter. Well, our desires doesn't matter. This is about the king, all right, and his second coming. All right, but tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, man. You know, crying and mourning. Lament means, man, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine, man. They're gonna lament because all of these, you know, pleasures. Okay, DoorDash and social media, the gram, okay, All this BS is finna come to naught, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. And people are gonna desire, the 90s again, and they talk about that now, the 80s, the 90s, and just how much better, overall, when you look at it, sure, I mean, we was here, sure, it do seem like overall it was just a simpler, better time, but we still wasn't in our rest, man. We can't sit here and keep talking about the 90s, the 2000s, and we can't go back, man. Even though it was kind of cool, the music was better, like it was a simpler time. Seems like the full Pizza Hut was cracking, it was actually good back then. Briars was actually making real ice cream. You see what I mean? You know what I mean? Going to the movies was an event. It was, what I mean? But it's not our rest, man. Yeah, I missed the 90s. I missed the 2000s just like everybody else. But yeah, I'm wise enough now through the spirit and power behind Shema Shah to know that, there's something better coming than the damn 90s. But I mean, just, lamenting for all the teats, man. These women, these men, these children are going to be lamenting for these things, their video games, their social media, their cell phones, the internet, all right, just an abundance of readily available food. These are all part of those treats, man, that they're going to be lamenting for. They're going to be crying, but we told you, we warned you that this time was coming. You didn't do your due diligence and prepare. It's not our fault. You're an adult. You guys are adults out here, especially when it comes to doing what you want to do. Jacob is quick to let you know that he's grown. You're not his daddy. You're not his mama, and they're going to do whatever the flip they want to do. Okay, keep that energy, man. All right, keep that energy when the Lord, brings these things upon you, man. When you're hungry, all right, you don't have nowhere to stay. You don't have a vehicle. You don't know where to go. You need water. It's hot. It's freezing, man. All right, the summer almost over. The Wadi Abba Shema Shah, it was a hot summer, good gracious, in the south, but we're getting ready to go to the fall, then straight into the winter. And you know how it gets in the winter. A lot of people perish during those cold months, man. It'd be a harsh winter here sometimes, man, and throughout the rest of the earth, man. You gotta make sure the Lord is with you, man, by doing the right thing when these seasons come and these seasons go. All right. Luckily for me, man, you do what you can do. But man, I just spent the summer without AC, man. It was hot as, and I live in Georgia, man. It was hot, I got other things, the Lord worked it out. I got AC in my little sunroom back there. So, I just wasn't able to have somebody come look at that shit this summer, man. So I was able to endure. Thank the Lord I didn't have a family, because it would have been an issue. And this way for brothers, hey, the Lord gonna be with y'all, man. But for these other individuals out here that got these families, oh man, all right, they're gonna be so compromised. Anybody that has family, you got more than one person in your household, you're compromised, man. All right, cause think about that. If I had women and children in the house with me and there was no AC, I would have to get it fixed. So I said that to say, hey man, there also lies blessings in our chastening and what the Lord, is keeping from us. If you don't have a family, it can get lonely, and things like that. But for the most part, it's actually a good thing. That's one less person that you got to worry about, that got to worry about you, that you got to feed and provide for, especially when we're talking Jacob's trouble, these households, man. You got to be able to lead, and they're going to be looking for leadership in that day like the earth has never seen before, because it ain't going to be that regular degular, oh, get out here and work, man. You're going to need the spirit of the Lord. You're going to need the Lord to be with you in that day in order to be a leader and to be able to provide for your household, your so-called family, and if you're not doing what you're supposed to do now to the best of your ability, coming in a sincere spirit, and the Lord is not going to be with you, and he's going to make an example out of you, and you're going to look crazy out here. Every last person is going to from a child to a woman to a man of our nation. If you're not serving the Lord will embarrass your punk ass, bro. You're going to be a child out here looking hungry, going from adult to adult, asking for food. Can you help me? Can you help us? For real, not that scamming shit Jack be doing in the hood. And as a woman, all right, all those cool ass clothes and shit, them fly ass clothes that y'all be rocking and all that, you're not gonna have that with you. You're gonna be, shame pale, blank face, the naked face, with your head wrapped up, asking for provisions. And it's just like a man, you see the niggas at the gas station, so-called, man, niggas at gas stations begging. All right, it's gonna be even more of that, in that day. You're gonna see some big strong Cam Newton looking niggas, all right, begging, all right, for some type of help. So then what's gonna happen? Hey, eventually they're gonna either have to get violent and just start taking, all right, or go down to Egypt for help, man. All right. And we don't want to do any of those things, man. We want to wait on the Lord. The Lord is going to fight our battles. The Lord is going to provide for us, but you have to believe it. That's where that faith comes in, man. All right. And we'll leave it at this. In the book of Ecclesiasticus, also Sirach 5 and 7. Hear the conclusion of the matter. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. So don't tarry, don't hesitate. Do it now. Do it today. All right. If you can hear the voice of me, the other Akim, you still got an opportunity, Lord willing, all right, to repent, to call upon him, say, you're sorry, all right, acknowledge your faults, pray to the Lord, confess your sins to one another, all right. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, okay? For suddenly, there's that sudden destruction, man. There's that thief that the Bible speaks about, okay? For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed. Remember we talked about setting on their leads, on their ease, all right? And same thing, these people that are settled in their security, okay, thinking that it's all good, their 401ks, their bank accounts, period. A lot of people around here with the puffed up shit, and they are in the mercy of having those numbers in their bank account actually show those numbers. All they got to do is just take your numbers away, and you're going to freak out, man. There's a lot of money issues happening in the entertainment industry, or the conscious community. Your boy, what's his name? That dude named Umar, all right? He's getting money issues. A lot of these artists, man, you can see it. These so-called CEOs, Rick Ross, all them boys, they up next. Don't worry about it. You'll see them fall as well. Master P, all these boys, they're getting ready to really feel the crunch that is Babylon the Great. That is their captivity. Oh, you thought the Lord forgot. Oh, we thought you was skating under the radar. You think the Lord is finna let these niggas get rich in our captivity, and he ain't gonna do nothing about it when he got his men and women and children out here sighing and crying every day? Boy, you're up next. Just give it a little time. Boy, you up next, Rick Ross. Boy, we sick of you, boy. You know what I mean? Put P. Diddy business all out there in the street. Boy, we knew you was crazy, boy. R. Kelly locked up right now. One of the most, prolific motherfucking musicians of our nation. God, I Believe I Can Fly. Come on, man. I was listening to that not too long ago. That's a great song. This man was jamming. All right. But come on, man. Our nation wicked, man. And you see what a so-called brother at right now. He locked down right now. And then there's still more judgment awaiting that brother, man. All right. So we don't want to be like that. So it will behoove us, right, to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Come back to the Lord. Call upon Yahweh, War Yahweh Shai. These are the names that must be utilized, if you will. Have faith in these names, man, in these last days in order to survive this thing, man. All right. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Till next time, Shalom.